Season 3, Episode 11 of Traitors. I didn't even know we were already at the finale, but here we are. This is a spoiler review. It was really tense. We left off in Episode 10 with such a cliffhanger in regards, will Britt vote Danielle off? Will she not? Will she backstab her? That history from Big Brother, does it come back to Traitors? And we start off, and yes, in regards to an ill-fated type of look that Dolores supposedly gave Britt towards Danielle, confusing Danielle, and eventually voting Danielle out, which was, listen, like I've said it in the past several reviews, Danielle is too obvious. The overacting, as I'm sure as you've noticed, was so obvious that she was a traitor. But with that being said, she was voted out. And the very interesting factor at the end, where she went to the circle of truth to indicate, yes, she was indeed a traitor. She went and said nice things to each and every person except Britt, which was pretty much a setup towards Britt, like, hello, she indeed is a traitor. She's off. She's gone. Now it is down to 5. You have Dylan suspecting Britt as a traitor because of that initial reaction. Britt kind of gets wind of it. She now tries to throw everybody towards Dylan, that he's a traitor, which leads us to the seer. The seer ends up being Britt. Now, that makes things really interesting. Now, everybody kind of goes into a powwow before, in regards to Britt, selecting somebody from that group, because that person has to reveal to the seer, in this case, Britt, in this case, she's a traitor, that they are either a traitor or a faithful. But Britt already knows who the traitor is. It's herself. So the key thing is that everybody kind of does a real quick powwow while Alan is in another room with Britt explaining the process of the seer. Now, what everyone's come to the conclusion is this. First of all, Dylan brings out the reaction to Danielle towards Britt during the final table, so to speak. The key thing is that he said, look, if she comes back and whoever she chooses, he assumes it's Dolores or Gabby and frames them as a possible traitor, then the cat's out of the bag. But Dylan thinks about it and say, well, wait a second. What about if Gabby is a traitor? So the key thing is Britt chooses Gabby. Gabby reveals that she is indeed a faithful. Dylan assumes that maybe they're in cahoots, which leads us to the next challenge. The challenge, I'm not going to go through it. I mean, it was an interesting one for sure. For a guy that is afraid of heights, I would have never done this challenge, but it was an interesting one. You can definitely check that out. The key thing is that at the end, they get to a table. Now, it's really tense because Britt kind of has an idea that she has a target on her back. But the key thing I want you all to understand is when you watch the episode and you watch when Britt votes Danielle out, I mean, the crying in regards to that, to me, as a viewer, I don't know as a player, but that is just too exposing that you possibly are a traitor. Leads us to the final table where where Britt has this, ambush on Dylan. A very obvious ambush where Dylan gets caught off guard completely and says his points, but just Britt is just laying in on him. Ultimately, they go to a final vote. On this vote, whoever gets voted cannot reveal, indeed, if they are a traitor or a friendly. The last table, in regards to when Danielle got voted out, that's the last table where the person gets voted out had to reveal either way. Anyway, cut to the chase. Britt gets voted out. She leaves. They ultimately are now 4, and then ultimately they have to figure out, okay, we're the final 4. Do we go out as winners, or is there suspicion amongst the group still? Leads everybody in regards to Alan to the final judgment. Now, they all have to individually write down if they want to end the game or do they want to continue with suspicion that there might be a traitor amongst them. Because again, if there's a traitor, he or she gets the whole pot. If there is no traitor in that final four, then they split it four ways. So each individual casts their vote either to end the game or continue on. That will, go into a banishment. So Alan collects all the votes. He throws it into this flame. If the flame turns green, it means that they want to end the game. If it turns red, then they go to banishment. Well, everybody votes green. They all win. There is no traitor amongst them, which is awesome. They do also reveal that Britt was indeed a traitor. And then obviously a little bit of a sign of a relief. So it ends off really well. I'm really happy on the conclusion of it. This game is just such a really good game in the form. If you're a big fan of Clue and strategy, was always a big fan of Big Brother, but with the element of the Clue, theme, if you will, it's just such a good game. And I'm so happy that they're coming back with the season 4. And then if you want, watch the reunion episode with Andy Cohen that brings everybody back, all the casts and characters. It was really entertaining. So that's it. Definitely watch it. I mean, it was really a fun season. I think you'll enjoy this final run. I honestly had no idea it was the final episode until I realized, wait a second, this is going into 2 hours. So really good. So guys, thanks so much. Again, like, review, comment, and I'll be back with my next review in regards to a next show, which would be one of my favorites, The Amazing Race. Stay tuned. And for more information, like I said, just click the like and subscribe. Take care, guys.